What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for yet another Tottenham update. We're going to go into the last 24 hours of Tottenham news and rumours. And we're going to start off with a report from Tom Barkley that says that Tottenham are eyeing up an audacious summer move for Borussia Dortmund starlet Jamie Gittens, who is valued at £80 million. Gittens has been a long-time target of Tottenham Hotspur, who are keen to bolster the left-hand side of their attack. And Bild are also reporting that Borussia Dortmund want £85 million for Jamie Gittens this summer, with Arsenal, Tottenham and Chelsea among the clubs interested in the 20-year-old. Do you think this one has any legs?
I really like Gittens. I think he's been fantastic this season for Dortmund. I remember, I think he broke in just at the end of that season. They were going for the title, didn't he? I think near the end of that season. And he was such an exciting talent coming off the bench. And I think this season he seems to have taken his game up a notch. He's still kind of not at that elite level yet, but he's still very, very young. And he's going to grow. He's got so much potential. And I think he's really nailing down that cut inside and finish into the far corner shot that he seems to be doing on a regularity. He's becoming a regular fixture for Dortmund. Dortmund have a knack of nurturing good young English talent as well. They've done it a number of times now. So I think...
Yeah, got the best out of Jude Bellingham, Jadon Sancho, and now Gittens.
Yeah, so I think he's definitely one. I think... yeah, he's a really great talent, and I think he would really improve our front line. The only caveat I would have is obviously he's 20. We have Odegaard who plays off the left. We have Mikey Moore who plays off the left. We have Sonny at the moment who's still there who plays off the left. So Tell at the moment can also play off the left. So we do have a pretty stacked options right now on that left hand side. So unless maybe some of those move over to the right, I mean, it's not like in terms of the profile in the front line, it's probably not our most needed. But he's an extremely great talent, and I think any team who picks him up is going to be better for it.
Yeah. Do you think that is a possibility to go and get a Gittens and make Tell permanent in the summer?
Yeah, sure.
I think so. Do you think Tell, because we were talking when we signed Tell that we think potentially Tell could be the long-term replacement for Sonny?
Yeah, well, at the moment we're playing him on number 9, maybe mostly because Rishi and Solanke are injured.
Well,
I do think
2 games, 1 on the left, 1 at 9.
I do think he looks like he sees himself as a 9, and I also think we could sell Richarlison and bring in Tell, and then all of a sudden he's one of the options of 9, also with the ability of playing on the wing, and also we could sign a winger. The only thing is, depends on Son. If we if we potentially could get rid of him in summer. Not that I want that, but I don't know if that's a possibility. If his lack of form maybe continues till the end of the season, which he's currently on, will we look to kind of let him go, or if that's the case, then maybe we go all out for someone like Gittens. But if Son's still here, and then you got Odegaard, you got Moore, I don't know if we splash out 80 million on him.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Gittens. I mean, he has played, it is predominantly on the left, but he has played some football on the right in his career. But I mean, I don't like getting this square pegs in round holes. Like, we signed Odegaard in the summer, and the assumption was Odegaard, he was going to play on the right, not on the left, because of, the holes in the squad. And I do want to bring in a specialised right winger. So if it was a case between a Gittens to the lad Bakayoko from PSV, who would you prefer to get?
I think Gittens might have the higher ceiling, to be honest, but I think Bakayoko's
holes in the squad, though.
Yeah, I'm saying Bakayoko's probably what we need more, but I think Gittens might be the better player. I think just with this ceiling, and I think Bakayoko has done well, but I think what Gittens is showing in the Bundesliga so far is probably, even at his age, maybe a bit more than Bakayoko. But I think Bakayoko probably is a better fit for the squad.
Yeah, that's the way I'm thinking about it as well. But yeah, I would love it for a summer to come around and for us to sign Tell for the number 9 position to fight with Dom Solanke, and then maybe for Son to go into the last year of his contract with Gittens there to maybe challenge him with Odegaard, maybe floating across both sides, the right and the left, for cover in those options. I think that could be really...
And Moore as well, you have.
And Moore as well. So, I mean, Moore has also been floating between the left and the right. Obviously, he is a lot stronger on the left than he is on the right.
I think he's only really been playing on the right because we have no one else there.
Yeah,
I think that's the main reason.
Yeah. But I do think it's an option, but, with the price that they're looking at, £80 million, do you think Spurs will even stretch that?
Yeah, I don't think so, to be honest.
Next up, a publication called El Nacional are saying that Tottenham have lodged a 12.5 million bid to sign Andreas Christensen, with Barcelona ready to sell the defender. Didn't do too badly at Chelsea. I thought he did all right there. Ball playing centre back that made his way to Barcelona. Would you be open for it?
I think he hasn't done terribly at Barca, but I think in recent years, maybe hasn't been a fixture in the team. But I think I've seen him play well for them as well at times. Very good at international level for Denmark. I remember the Euros when they got to the semi-final. He was brilliant in that Euro campaign. So I think the guy has quality. He's got ability. I don't see him being a fit under Ange. Maybe under a different manager, he could be a better fit. But under Ange, I don't know if he's the kind of profile fit we would want. He doesn't have the great recovery pace, and I also don't think he's that aggressive as well. He reminds me of a lot of kind of Joachim Andersen in that role. Very good defender, really good with the ball at his feet. But I think in certain systems like ours, I don't know if he would be the best fit. Also, I'm not sure about his injury record as well.
Yeah, that's what I was just checking up, because he's only played one game this season in the La Liga for Barcelona. And I'm just looking at, he was out. He missed 28 games with a tendon irritation, and then he's out with a muscle injury. He missed 5 games. So, he's missed the majority of this season just through injury. Last season, he didn't miss too many games. He missed 3 games for injury. Ended up playing 30 games in La Liga. And the season before, he missed 1 game and then 8 games and then 6 games. So, injuries have, maybe not last season, but in his first season and particularly this season, have plagued his time there.
Yeah, I just don't think it's the right fit. It's a cheap deal, and I think he's a good quality player, but yeah, I don't think it's the right fit for us, to be honest.
Another centre-back that we're going to talk about is Mark Guehi. Footy Insider says that Arsenal, Tottenham, Liverpool, Chelsea and Newcastle are all in for Mark Guehi this summer, who's expected to leave Crystal Palace. We all know that Spurs lodged a bid on the final day of the transfer window, around 70 million, whether that was a bit of a PR move for Tottenham to tell the fans that they are trying to get in a top-level centre-back or not, we don't know. But he's a player I'd love to see through the club, through the doors of the club. I think he's a player that will take the central defence kind of roster as a whole to a whole new level. When you're looking at him, Danso, Romero, and Van de Ven, that is some options, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I just question whether Spurs can get a deal of this magnitude over the line, because you're looking at the teams potentially interested, and the fee that he's going to command, and the other business that we need to do in the summer. I just don't think that's going to be one that we're going to get over the line.
Yeah, the only thing that shows our interest is the fact that we reportedly made a bid for him in January. So the fact that we were willing to stump up 70 million at that point maybe shows Guehi that we're serious about him, and we are serious about bringing him in. Something tells me I don't think we bring him in unless Romero leaves. I don't see them both being at the club. I think if Romero's here and he's staying, I don't think we go and shell out 70 million for someone like Guehi, but I'm happy to be wrong. When it comes to the competition...
We did make the bid, though, whilst Romero's here.
No, that is true. Maybe we are maybe we do want to have them both.
And it was after Danso signed as well.
Yeah, which was obviously after the news that Dragusin had his ACL.
That's why I think it was more of a PR thing than an actual bid, because they probably knew that at that point in the window, Crystal Palace were never going to sell.
Yeah, and they didn't. And I probably agree with you, albeit we did make a bid. So whether it's a PR thing, I don't know if Guehi will look at it that way, but whether us fans who know Levy and how he deals with things, maybe if we can see it for what it is, that's a different thing to how maybe Guehi sees it. But in terms of the competition in the summer for him, when it comes to Arsenal, I would be surprised if they sign him with 70 million, because they do have Gabriel Saliba. They got Calafiori and Timber can also play in those roles. Kyrgios's there. Obviously, if Kyrgios leaves,
there's reports about Real Madrid being interested in Saliba.
Well, if that's the case, and definitely I can see them being interested, but I don't know how much legs that has. When it comes to Newcastle, yes, Newcastle are a good team, and they could do with Guehi, I think, to partner for Shah or Botman. But we saw with Maddison, I think, a lot of players would rather stay in London. I think a lot of clubs, when they look at the difference between Tottenham and Newcastle, they probably see the potential of Tottenham being better than Newcastle, as much as Newcastle better than Tottenham now in the league. And he's already in London. Does he want to move up north, or would he rather stay in London and play for Tottenham? I think we could probably sell him that we're a better fit for him. When it comes to Chelsea, He's already been at Chelsea, so other players have come back. I know Chalobah didn't have a choice, but he's gone back there. I think where he came through the youth academy there, didn't he? So I guess if there's serious interest, maybe it could be the club of his heart, and he might want to go back there. And I think they really need him as well. So I think they're a club who I think would struggle to compete with them.
Yeah, and they'd have no problem putting the money on the table, would they? And probably offering a lot better wages than we could probably offer. So. Yeah, I do think if Chelsea come in, we probably are not going to be able to compete with that. But
I'll offer him an 8-year deal.
Yeah, and the rest. Next up, we're going to talk about a publication, everyone's favourite publication in the name of Fichajes.
Oh, love Fichajes, come on.
And they say that Tottenham Hotspur are now plotting ahead of the summer window after it emerged that Harry Kane could depart Bayern Munich for a cut price fee.
Come on, boys.
Kane's 54 million release clause at Bayern, which will become active in the summer, became public last week. Harry Kane back to Spurs?
One of our own. He's coming back, people. He's coming back. He's going to win it all this season for Bayern. He's going to have done my job. It's now time to return home. That's what's going to happen. I love that to be the case, but I don't think there's any chance of that happening, to be honest. I think he's loving it in Bayern, to be honest. He's scoring goals for fun. I think he's competing in the Champions League, competing for league titles. I just don't see, especially with where we are at the moment as a club, I don't see him coming back to Tottenham and thinking his job is done at Bayern yet. So I think he wants to be in the shout for Ballon d'Or, which I think he's got more chance of doing at Bayern. And Tottenham are just not in a position at the moment where we can tell Kane, look, come here and we're competing for big things. I think at the moment we're still in a process of trying to figure out how good we are. So I think Kane is definitely staying at Bayern for the next at least 2 years, I would say.
Yeah, we all talked about when Kane left that he'll be back in the Premier League one day to break Alan Shearer's record. Do you still think that's the case? And do you still think, like, if he was to come back into the Premier League, never mind Tottenham, whoever it may be, in 2 years' time at the age of 33, do you think he can still break that record?
100%. Look at Chris Wood. He's 34, 18 Premier League goals, and Kane's much better than Chris Wood. Yeah. And he's playing for a worse team. So if Kane came here even at 34...
How many does he need to break the record?
He's on like 192, I think.
Yeah, so he would need...
No, is he on that much? He's... Or did he break the 200 club already?
Yeah, I think he did, didn't he?
He did, didn't he? So I think he's like 40 behind or something. I think Harry Kane. I honestly think a couple years he can do it.
He's on 213.
Okay, so he needs 47?
Yeah, around that.
Yeah, a couple of years. He'll do it.
You think he'll do it?
For sure. If he came back, for sure he'll do it. No, I've got no doubt. This guy's going to be playing till he's 40, I think. And I think his game has never relied on...
Playing till he's 40, that's a big shout.
I think so.
Playing till he's 40?
I think so. I think he's going to be playing until at least the late 30s. His game doesn't rely on pace. He keeps himself in peak physical condition.
Not many players play till that age.
I think he's of that calibre. I think he's of that calibre. And I think if he comes back to the Premier League, if he comes into a good team, he will break that record. I've got no doubt about it. He will break that record. He's a player who we know can drop deep, can dictate play, but also... time his runs to perfection. A bit like he can be like how Teddy Sheringham ended his career scoring goals. He can be that level of player as well.
He played till 40, didn't he? But not at the top level.
Well, he's in the Premier League probably until he was 40.
Was he actually in the Premier League till he's 40?
Because he's the Premier League's oldest goal scorer at 41.
Oh, that's true.
I think, or 39 or something. Well, very old anyway. I think he was 40. Or was he maybe very late 30s? So I think he could do that for sure. So I think he could even come in a couple of years and still come and break the record. I really think that.
I do think that's how Kane views himself. The way you're kind of seeing it, and he's always said, even when he left Spurs, he was said, "I've got a whole another career ahead of me." That's the way he thinks he is. He's a player that looks after himself, a model professional, isn't he?
And he's not had many injuries over the past few years, has he?
Yeah, I mean, he put those ankle problems behind him. He had one big hamstring injury at Tottenham. And yeah, I struggle to think that he can do it till he's 40, but I definitely think if he comes back to the Premier League at the age of 33, he still has at least 2 more big seasons in him.
I would say more, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I said at least. So.
Yeah, I think this guy's going to be at the top level for a long time, and I think people thinking he's nearly finished. I don't think he's anywhere near finished, in my opinion.
Well, in 2 years' time, is that when his contract's up? I think in 2 years' time.
And
Or
every
is it
January
3
he
years?
has a release clause in January of 50 million, I think.
Yeah, I think 3 years is his contract, right? In the summer, he signed a 5-year deal, didn't he?
So it'll be 3 more years.
Yeah, 3 more years in the summer. So if he comes back with 1 year remaining on his contract at the age of 33, how much do you reckon he costs?
At 33, 34,
33.
33, because he's how old now? 31 or 32?
He's 31.
31. So, and if we're assuming he keeps up this goal scoring record that
Which
he's
he
on,
will in the Bundesliga.
30 goals, and also, Champions League, he's banging them in. With 1 year left on his deal, you're probably looking at 33. You're still looking at a hefty fee. I think you're still looking at like 50 million, something like that.
I would love to see that at him come back to Spurs in 2 years' time. You're looking at the young players and how good they're going to be in 2 years' time with the Archie Grays, the Lucas Berg, Val, Mikey Moore, and the rest of them. Jamie Donnelly potentially coming back. Imagine for them as well, for the academy players to end up playing with Harry Kane in 2 years' time.
I would love it.
It's just like such a romantic kind of, and Harry Kane's going to come off, finish the project, and finally win the league with Tottenham Hotspur.
Come on, he's going to be the icing on the cake of the Ange
Under the
project.
Qataris.
It's all going to roll into place. Come on.
Another one from our favourite publication in Vajakas claimed that Tottenham have identified Theo Hernandez as a potential target for the summer.
I'm sure we have.
I did see another report saying that AC Milan are open to selling Theo Hernandez to fund bringing in João Felix on a permanent.
Don't know why they would do that.
Apparently, he started life really well there. AC
Yeah,
Milan.
but he always does that, Felix. I don't know if that would be a smart decision. I think Theo Hernandez is brilliant. Another player, I'm not sure if it's him or his brother. One of them has quite bad injuries.
Lucas.
I think that's his brother. He's been brilliant for AC Milan, though, Theo, and also international level. I think he can also play centre back sometimes. He plays left back. He'll be great. I don't think he's going to come into Tottenham. I think he's probably too good for us, but I like him.
Don't we all? Don't we all? Next up, Footy Insider claimed that Liverpool remain keen on signing Tottenham's Mickey van de Ven despite his injury record this season. Would you be willing to cash in on a Mickey van de Ven, looking at how these hamstring injuries don't seem to be going away?
No, because I'd rather we try and sort them out than just cast him off. And I know it's been 18 months and he's had a few of those problems. But as I say, Kane tore his hamstring and and after that he...
Case, though, isn't it?
You say that, it might be, but we don't know that for
Kane,
sure.
did it once. Van de Ven has had like 4 hamstring injuries since joining.
How many times he torn it? I don't know if he's torn it more than once, but he definitely tore it against Chelsea. And I don't know if the other ones were a tear or just like a big strain. I don't know.
And also, he had a big hamstring injury before he joined us as well, for Wolfsburg.
Yeah, look, for me, I want to give it a chance to, if we can sort it out, if we can. They're getting external advice right now to try and see if they can sort the problem out. But look, to be fair, there are players that just have these issues, and like someone like Reece James has been plagued with these issues, and that we don't want to get into that kind of situation. And that's also a fair comment. And if he's going to be another kind of Reece James, and he's just going to always have this issue, and then we might as well cash in on him while his stock's high. But I don't know. I think it's too early to say that. He's still young. I think I want to give him the opportunity to prove that he can stay fit. And I think he's too good an asset to just let go out of the fear that he's going to be perennially injured. It might happen, and then we have to sell. At that point, we'll probably have to sell for a lower fee. But I think right now, I would still want to keep him.
Yeah. I mean, I do agree with you because I feel like the guy's ceiling is just incredibly high, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And it would just be so classic Tottenham that we get someone of this high ceiling after, yearning for a top centre-back after the Toby Alderweireld and Jan Vertonghen kind of duo that we had. We finally got 2 people, maybe not of the same calibre, but definitely getting close to that with Romero and Van de Ven. It'd just be classic Tottenham when the last time before that we had a top centre-back in Ledley King, We all know what happened there with how injuries plagued his career. So let's just hope that we can get him prim and proper and put these injury problems behind him, because he's such a good player, man, and he's perfect. He's like literally moulded for the system that we play.
And in terms of Liverpool, if they came in, it would have to be a very big offer, even with injuries. So I don't know if they would put up the money that we want for him. I don't know.
Yeah, you look at it like when they last needed when they last desperately needed a centre back at the beginning of the Klopp era, they put 75 million down on the table for Virgil van Dijk. And with Virgil van Dijk on the other end of his career now, and with him out of contract at the summer, we don't know what's going to happen with him. They're probably going to need to splash out big money this summer for a centre back.
I'm not talking about their ability to splash out money. I'm talking about them matching our fee for Van de Ven given his injuries.
Yeah.
Will they do it? We're going to demand probably more than what they asked for Van Dijk.
Yeah.
And will they do it? I don't know.
Yeah, it remains to be seen. But last but not least, Calcio Mercato just going back in time to the January transfer window, and they say that Tottenham did try and sign Santiago Jimenez from Feyenoord late in the January transfer window, but the 23-year-old rejected and opted to join AC Milan instead. So he's another striker.
Yeah, we got Tell.
Bring him through the door.
We got Tell. Who needs Jimenez? I reckon it was probably after Tell rejected us. We were looking for another player, weren't we? In that period, we probably turned to him. He moved very late in the window. He's obviously one we've been after for a while, or looked at for a while anyway, I should say. I think there's also one clearly we haven't been fully sold on. I think it's fair to say, because we never really took the interest seriously, and we never kind of went in with any bids, or there was never any serious interest, just rumours and talk. So I don't know if it's one that we should be sad about not getting, but I think he started well at Milan, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. He's played 4 games, 2 goals, 1 assist, and he actually, funnily enough, played against Feyenoord in the Champions League last week, didn't he? I think they're playing again tonight or tomorrow. But apparently he didn't play too well in that game, but the other 3 games in Serie A and in the Italian Cup, I think it was, fairly good games. So yeah, we'll see what happens with him and his future. Did he sign there, or was it a loan with an option, with an obligation or something?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Anyway, that is your Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts regarding all the news stories we talked about today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.